after Workspace closed, I tried doing it in an online version, but it wasn't a in-person live video chat platform. And I just wasn't satisfied with the connectivity, even in the more modern, platforms like Mighty Networks that we were using for that purpose. So I wanted to try something for full families. So we'd have children from, let's say, about 5 to 18 with families. I wanted to create a landscape for them. However, all of the technology that's now available and readily available and inexpensive and available for anyone to create, so just put that in the back of your mind. You have to be 13 and up to be on those platforms right now.
Right.
So rather than do the whole family situation, which would have been my preference, I decided to really focus on this generation of teens, 13 and up, the Generation Zers, and look at all the research and what their needs are. So that, 27% of these kids have, mental health challenges. Only 18% of these kids are going to get a job in high school, and they're all really headed to or most of them are headed to college, and they don't have very much imagination about other possibilities. You look at all the skills, the durable skills or the soft skills they're going to need to be really successful in the next 50 years. And all of them require them being, agile thinkers, adaptable, critical thinkers. They have to be able to collaborate in teams and all those sort of things. So, how can we get them super motivated to go out into the world and collaborate in these teams? Right? So I'm thinking you need kind of like a launch pad for that. After, quite a lot of exploration, and I know we did some with Michael as well, I did choose the GatherTown platform. Out of all the platforms, it seemed to be the easiest platform that I thought teens could actually create on. And like, if teens got on there, got used to the platform, which is actually fairly similar to Discord, something that they're very familiar with. Yeah. But rather than being online chat, you can actually walk around on the platform. So I guess it's like a cross between I think it's Real Player One and like Animal Crossing, where you can walk around this whole world and you can go inside like museums and you can go to the movies and you can do all these different things. What I'm trying to do is mimic real life, right? I don't want it to be too complicated. I don't want it to be all really 3D, immersive, very high intensive computer usage, like you have to download something to do it. Like this all happens in a browser, and you can do so many different things in that. But what I'm really trying to do is mimic just the very, very basic human relationships that people have. Like you'll be walking down a street and you bump into someone and you have a little conversation, right? Like I am trying to have 100 conversations a day, small conversations all over the map. Yeah. So I'm setting it up so that, you have little private spaces all over the place, and really fun ways that you can connect. So, we'd have a fitness center, for example, and outside the fitness center, there are little yoga mats for a small group of people doing yoga. So they could be doing yoga together and people could be walking past on the street. So it doesn't feel like you're in a Zoom. I'm mimicking what would happen in a creative company, and where they set things up so people actually meet on the stairwell. Yeah. And you're doing all that. So I guess social engineering, like strategically placed water coolers and those sort of things. But the most important, or the most fun part of doing this whole thing was, in Montessori philosophy, she wanted to give the adolescents the world, sort of the understanding of the whole world and how everything works in the world. And when I was trying to do that in the physical space, and when I first started designing Workspace, I was thinking we can do it right in the center of a town, and I can use all these different areas of the town to try and give them the world. But you are very, very limited by how much space you can afford and how much you can afford to decorate and all these different elements.
Sure.
But in a virtual space, I was able to, I use patterns that you find in the universe as a basis for the layout of this map. It looks like a big university campus. And we have a giant center in the center, which is our marketplace of ideas. And then we have 10 smaller centers that are all in a sacred pattern of the universe located around the edge of it. So we have the laws of the universe on one side, for example, and there it actually is a space age sort of themed center. And we're doing, science and math, but really looking at patterns and how math is used creatively, and have buildings where you can just have a regular math classroom, but we also have a planetarium. You could go onto the roof. We have a cafeteria on the roof of the big Sky building. We have the Space Needle. We have the Millennial Falcon, and you can go inside there and do a tutorial.
That's where I'm going to be.
We have all these little pathways everywhere, and then we have portals, so you can portal all over the place to different spaces. So it was really, we worked with a concept artist who was just amazing at translating our imagination into a concept which we can actually make. And it's an amazing thing to see an idea that's sort of been swimming around in your head actually being manifested. And I want the children to get a taste of what that is like. And this is a platform for them to be able to actually make real what is happening in their imaginations, which is something we tend to lose during high school because we're deadened by all the busy work.